We are back. It's going to be a good one, as Jason seems surprised to hear my voice. It's been a really frustrating couple of hours, guys. I know you in chat have not been enjoying yourselves as much as you have been. There have been a lot of memes. There's been a lot of kappas. I just said memes. Oh. There's been a lot of kappas in chat. You guys are killing time. And so have we. We're waiting to get underway with
any GIFs?
Oh, are you one of them? Are you one of them, Jason Kaplan?
In the situation right now, yes.
You're a GIFer as opposed to a GIFer. This is a debate right now. We have 55 seconds until we jump into game. GIF or GIF?
Can we debate about something more fun?
Wow. Okay, just admit it's GIF, and then we can move on. Graphics interface. Graphics, GIF.
Just because it's graphics doesn't mean it's GIF.
Okay, well, in chat, guys, just let Jason know that it's wrong and that GIF is the correct way to say it. And then he said GIF myself then.
You just did.
Well, yeah, technically I did. Anyway,
so we're in accordance that I'm right. Okay, so back to the game.
Yeah, let's remind our audience about what we've missed since we've been so very long since we actually casted this one. We did just see the second map. It was Operation Locker. We saw 19 tickets was the threshold that MYM managed to set. As we're going to be going into our second half of map number 2 here in game number 2. There's a lot of 2s here. And I'm sure you guys are excited to see where this goes. I'm a little bit shaky or a bit hesitant to really jump in with SK because I want to make sure, I really want to make sure that they give it their all in this one. It means a lot to them, obviously.
Jiv their all?
Jiv their all, yes, indeed, Jason. Why don't you walk us through the early stages?
Well, SK over on the US side. She's going to leave one man back at B, of course, and they rushed 4 straight through the top side of the middle area, actually trying to get towards A, but they said they fall back. A little bit unsuccessful at the C flag. They do lose out in the 1v1, so Maker's going to get out to the early 2v1 hold. Remember, 19 tickets isn't really that big. It really isn't that huge of a number, not like the 97 we saw last time when we saw MYM up against Dignitas. And of course, Dignitas is waiting up for the loser of this match, because that will be our next game, and the winner will go on to the playoffs, or be qualified into it. But now, seems like a little bit of a lull in the action here. We're seeing that man out towards the middle detectors, but actually breaking out towards C, though.
Yep. Right now, looking at Hunter, seems to be sitting around pretty passive on this A side. I'm looking towards court. He is going to be capturing this C side, but he's paying a heavy price. He's been heavily tagged around this stone pillar. So hesitant to even show himself for a second. Actually managing to get away from that one. I'm not sure the reasoning behind that. In fact, I do now. Jika managing to take down the defensive player with his ace 23. We'll see what on earth Flax has got up his sleeve. Nothing, as he does fall as well. We can see the A site's the only one really currently in the hands of MYM, and SK starting strong. Obviously, tickets pretty level at the moment. 5 between them. Punchrall struggling to push on towards the B site. And B has been a site that a lot of teams have held in pretty high regard. We see it's a pretty tough site to assault. Once you've got a couple of players, even to just 2 or 3, it's enough to maintain defense of that B site. In contrast to perhaps maybe A, where you do need a few more.
Yeah, it's difficult to assault B, but if you get lucky with a random respawn, then it makes it that much easier when you get right behind them. You never really expect them to come from behind like that. But either way, Maker's getting a full squad wipe here. Going to get full control of C yet again here. They're going to push in for the tri-cap. I don't agree with this. Just sit back with a 2-for-1 hold, because right now you're kind of like make it so they can get random respawns to the backside of A against you. And on the one man that was pushed up there, it was Wafi. It's taken down. We'll lose control of the B flag. At least we'll give his team a little bit of information, telling them that they are headed towards the A flag. In the meantime, gives Duckachan time to prepare towards the C as you see him pick up that 1v1. So, and we are off to again a decent start. They seem to be holding the 2-for-1s a little bit longer, a little bit more one-sided like, a little more convincingly, I guess is the word I'm looking for, than we're seeing SK here so far. But again, remember SK, they unfortunately are running with Core. He's not a bad player, but he's not the 5, well, he's not Hexus. He's not the starting lineup guy that they were hoping or depend on for today. And I would hate to see that kind of be a detriment to them if they do unfortunately not qualify after their strong performance throughout the entire season.
Yeah, it would be a real disaster for SK, and obviously so much pressure is put on this group tournament. We cannot highlight enough of how much these teams have worked to get where they currently are, and obviously want to progress even further towards the offline stages, and it all comes down to this. And with SK kind of hamstringed a little by losing one of their key, well, the starting 5, it's a tough price to pay, but admittedly MYM are in a similar boat. They did actually lose safe It was a roster swap. They chose to take Seo instead, moving on through the groups from the online stages, or sorry, the online cups. Right now, though, 116 to 93. Tickets are favoring MYM, but when they're nearly fully squad wiped, and Hunter is roaming towards the A flag to relinquish, or sorry, to defend that one. Thought he was actually going to try and cap it. That would be odd, being as his team already control it. Going to go see Core here. He's under some serious fire. He's going to get away with one. I don't think he's going to get the second. He can't quite manage it. There's a lot of AEK action, actually, in these corridors. Seems to be the weapon of choice here on Locker. I suppose it's one of those weapons that does favor the slightly closer quarters, which Locker does provide. And I can see Zia's got something in mind. It's a great position. He's not going to work, though. Does get taken down by Punch Roll, and it's one of those players who I will always highlight has just got the aim and the brain. He's one of those rarities where they come together, and it seems to be working for him as well, as he's the only member of his team to still be standing.
And able to pick up the flag as well here, as it seems. So we're going to have 2-1. Looks like they're going to swap the A flag for the B. And then I'm kind of getting set up to actually enclose around this B flag and actually pick up about 4 kills here. So if they do close this one out, they do get this last man standing, which you can see. He's trying to stay alive as best he can. Gia, it's only a matter of time before he does get taken down, though, it seems, even with the random respawns coming in on the backside of B. But actually, with this back respawn coming in, Meechmakers aren't even expecting it. They're not even paying attention as they do see the flag being captured. They realize, oh, wait, guys, get behind us. There's someone there. But it's too late. They get taken down, and B's going to be turned back over.
B side, Punch Roll has made his move.
You forgot to unmute yourself.
Oops. Well, I was muted. I'm not anymore. And the A and C flags are looking to be a bit of a problem for the MYM side. I don't think the numbers favor them too much. He can barely get over the ridge of this mountain. Trying to push on towards C. You can see that actually Frod does fall. It's all falling to Core, but he's got the potential. Doesn't manage to execute it quite yet, though, as MYM maintain the AC hold. They need to, though. They need to make that that push towards B, or sorry, A, isn't a success. You see 3 members from SK pushing on, and the only real man with any sort of positional advantage here is Flax. His team are spawning in around him. This is going to have to be a pretty speedy push. Obviously, time is of the essence when you're almost 40 tickets down. Well, even more than that, actually, with MYM's advantage from the first half. Be it only 19 tickets, it's a big lead when these teams are so very evenly matched here.
It's so weird because Safe, you know, we used to talk about how it used to be like the big, oh no. Oh man.
Oh no.
We have a disconnect on the side of MYM.
And they have to play on.
Ducky Chen, when they're so close to secure themselves a win, so close to pretty much just guaranteeing the spot into the playoffs with a win in this half, and to have that happen, that is really unfortunate right now. So Meechmakers need to pull something out huge. They are 2-1. They need to just drag this out as long as they possibly can to get him back in the game here. And this has to hurt. This really does.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be a feature. This should not be an element of the playoff games. It should not even be possible that teams lose games, lose matches when they don't make a mistake, when it's just simply disconnects. And I know Ducky's going to be furious with that one. But maybe it balances out with the loss of Hexis for SK.
They're able to apply a little bit of pressure towards B and pick up a 2-for-1.
Yeah, they're nearly squad wiped, though. It's just numbers are just such a key element of Battlefield. When you need 5v5. As soon as you lose a member, perhaps in normal FPSs where it's more of a kind of pushing sites and bomb planting, a lot of destruction, it's not as much of an issue because you can play around slow, you can draw things out. Battlefield is so fast-paced, you cannot afford to lose a man. As you see right now, SK just profiting from this, and they're going to completely extinguish any sort of lead MYM had.
With that tri-cap in, just looking at it, it should potentially be the end of it. That should be actually SK getting lucky and taking it to a map number 3 here. But we're going to see MYM able to respond, able to get control of C flag, it seems. We just see someone on SK drops as well.
Oh.
So 4-4. It's an even match now here between these two teams. And well, it looks like it will miss be a squad wipe for MYM towards the B flag, as I believe Gia was the man to drop. So Gia and Ducky both gone. But at least that's even now. At least it's 4-4. MYM still have a lead here. There's a chance that they can come back from this one. There's a chance they still could pull this off.
I mean, it has become a level playing field. I don't really know how it's happened, but right now we are in a 4v4. going into map number 2, and they need to win this one. They cannot
Ducky
afford to
Chan's
throw
back.
this away. Ducky Chan's have gone back, and suddenly it's going to turn on its head. The numbers now favoring MYM, and with such a close threshold, MYM do have the advantage. Take 19 away from 45, obviously from the first half, and they now have the numbers to favor them as well. They need to pick it up fast, though, and it looks like Jika's doing a great job alongside Hunter of defending this site with the deficit right now. They've managed to almost fully squad wipe MYM, and I don't think that's the smartest move from MYM. They need to push the sites where they know there will not be defensive members. You see Punchral's going to have to go into kind of reflex defensive mode, as he needs to make sure they maintain the sites they already have. They do have the AB hold, but for how long? 3 players from MYM have made the push. They need to keep this safe. There's 14 tickets already for MYM. It's looking pretty good for SK as well, and they only have 4 members, Jason. How is this happening?
Well, they're playing really well, but unfortunately, they're going to get wiped out at the B flag. There's only 1 man alive. Last man in the squad standing. It's going to be Jika over towards A to C in the backside of Spawn. Unfortunately, they're going to get tri-capture at the last end of it. This is going to be really unfortunate. They have to fight their way back in. They have to stop this. At least the neutralize will be enough here to kind of keep this going in the hands of Future Makers. But remember, 19's at threshold. We're almost at that point here. And Jika, only man pushing in towards the A flag. It's going to be a one-on-one here over there. In the meantime, the rest of SK pushed in towards this B flag, and it looks like they will be able to secure it here, but they're still going to be down 2-1.
And look who's back. Hexis has filled the server, guys. SK.
What?
And it's all going backwards and forwards. We now have Hexis and his replacement core in the server. It's a real topsy-turvy game, but we need to get it to a close, and it's so very close. Only a couple of tickets left in the SK bank, but they have the numbers. Can they bring C under control? Can they tame the C flag? They have, but they cannot afford to respawn. They cannot afford any sort of death. They just need to play this out, and they need to keep B under control as well, and it's all going to fall to Punchrall. If Punchrall can get this, he's taken it. He single-handedly has brought this game to a close after such a brawl. We're going to be ticking away those last couple of tickets. There's very little they can do. Of course, MYM going to be taking on towards that C flag as well to rub it in, and now SK Gaming have slipped beneath that 19. I do not believe it, but yes, MYM have won. After being, I think they lost a player, then so did SK, then SK brought another, but not the right player in. It's been so very back and forth, but we do have a winner of Operation Locker and a winner of that game in general. I'm so confused. Jason, can you shed any light on what just happened?
People dropped, people came back, and MYM won. That was, that's what happened.
Yeah,
it's pretty simple, actually.
Yeah, but in terms of the actual game, in terms of the strategy, but both teams had these kind of moments of like, oh, we've got the numbers advantage. Let's push. We're 5v4. We shouldn't be losing. And I feel like SK executed that a little better. When they were playing on 4, they managed to defend A for a short period of time, whereas we saw as soon as MYM had 4, they actually just... No, sorry. Yeah, when MYM had the advantage, when they had the numbers, they just felt like they were kind of having trouble treating it like a 5v5. There was very a short space of time where they had a trip cap, but other than that, didn't quite make the most of it. But in the end, that 19 ticket advantage, 19 ticket advantage from the first half was enough to just clinch them that win. It's a bit of a battle, isn't it, when there's all these disconnects?
I feel like we should probably just put this game behind us now, because we can't even look into it too much. I mean, MYM, they played well throughout the day, but you can't really judge them when they're against teams that have crashes and they have crashes themselves. I'd rather just look forward to them at the offline playoffs coming up, obviously, in November. There's still tickets available. You can head over to ESL-1.com/battlefield if you're interested in those and join us in the Clone Studios. But what I want to see is the Dignitas versus SK game coming up. I mean, I want to put this game completely behind us because there's not much to say with all those disconnects and all that happening. But we can look ahead into the next one, obviously, coming in with this Dignitas. They did not look good at all against Future Makers at first. But MYM improved. They're actually playing pretty damn well today, and pretty damn well as their new team would say coming in. So I'm a little bit worried for Dignitas, but I guess it comes down to, is our SK going to crash? Because we didn't see Dig crash at all earlier on.
MYM. It's going to be MYM, right?
No, SK. SK lost.
So it's the loser's game. You're right. You're spot on. Sorry. Yeah, so Dignitas up against SK.
Sorry, producer was...
He gave me a golf clap. Yeah, so you're right. SK. But, I mean, the way we saw Dig play, we haven't been following their games after losing the first one, but they weren't looking particularly bright in the first time we saw them meet MYM, where I think it was 100,
well, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. Is I feel like Future Makers just proved after playing SK that they were playing really well today. So I think we can assume that it wasn't Dig playing bad necessarily. It was just MYM playing that well. I think there's still, to an extent, we can say Dig wasn't playing that well, but maybe it's just a warm-up. Like we saw Elevate and PKD yesterday. Elevate stomped, well, they didn't really stomp PKD, but they beat them quite heavily. But then when PKD came back, they finally got that warm-up done.
After they had like two maps under their belt,
Yeah.
they looked a lot stronger.
Yeah.
You're right. So overall, I think we're looking forward to this game as much as we should be, considering how well we've seen SK Gaming play and how much we haven't seen from Dignitas. More to come from them. Overall, guys, do stick around. We've got about a 10-minute break this time. I know it's not fun, but do stick around, spread the link, and also maybe check some tickets at ESL-1/Battlefield. See you guys soon.